Sundance 2023 predictions. Alan, you and I I've been going to the Sundance Film Festival since the 90s. You have more recently started attending
Mhm.
Sundance. It was something that I look forward to. Now it's become something of a chore for me. And I am not attending. You are attending virtually.
Yes. We have 3 people attending on our behalf.
3 people attending. We also have some other people who write for us on occasion that will contribute reviews. But I have some problems with Sundance of late. This is the first year that Sundance is back from, being on hiatus.
Yeah.
For the last 2 years, the Sundance Film Festival has not been an in-person festival. It has been online only. This is now a hybrid version. So Sundance is taking place in Park City, Utah. It's also taking place online, and critics and you at home, you can actually attend Sundance online, so to speak, by buying tickets. Just go to sundance.org to get details for that. So it is now something that's more open to the public. But what do we think about Sundance? I have mixed thoughts about Sundance. Sundance, I used to associate with people like Sundance was the film festival that Kevin Smith was discovered. A lot of other filmmakers like Darren Aronofsky, among others, Steven Soderbergh, Sex, Lies, and Videotape, played the Sundance Film Festival in 1989. And that was the first year that Sundance, I believe, 1989, Sundance changed its name to the Sundance Film Festival. It was previously called the United States Film Festival. Pretty weird. But yeah, changed its name in 89. Steven Soderbergh played there. A lot of people had their films discovered there. It's considered one of the top discovery film festivals, a festival where an unknown person can go there and become famous. But a lot has happened. Sundance has grown huge. It's become huge. It's also the city has become something of a circus during Sundance, with promoters that have nothing to do with Sundance trying to sell energy drinks and brands of clothing, where they have gifting suites. If you're a celebrity and you have a savvy publicist, you can get into the gifting suite where you can get all sorts of free stuff. Your only obligation being that you promote it. It is beyond chaotic in Park City, Utah, in particular on Main Street during Sundance, where you have, I can't tell you how many times I've seen women in the freezing cold at Sundance in open-toed high-heel shoes. It's weird, but you see it. But Sundance, began with a mission to champion small, unknown filmmakers. It has now gotten too big. Is it being compromised by studios? A lot of the films, I did my research, a lot of films playing at Sundance premiere at Sundance, and then they're on HBO Max a week later.
Mhm.
Is that really? Now, that movie that's playing there, you could say, whatever, it's good promotion, fine, to help the movie. But seriously, you took a slot away from a small indie filmmaker that could have actually benefited from the recognition. I'll just show you. This was the thing that made me think to myself, maybe I'm not going to go. Maybe I'm not going to go this year, because I did have a badge. I could have gone, and I chose not to. And it's because of this movie. This movie is premiering at the Sundance Film Festival, which champions independent filmmakers. It's The Amazing Maurice. And it's an official selection of the 2023 Sundance Film Festival. It plays at Sundance, and then about a week later, on February 3rd, it's in theaters everywhere. The Amazing Maurice, a CGI movie with voice acting by David Tennant, is in there.
Oh, there you go.
And it's based on the book by Terry Pratchett. Am I going to go to Sundance and see that movie, or am I just going to see it at the Burbank AMC 16 a week later? And when I saw that this movie was premiering at Sundance, I thought to myself, What has happened to the Sundance Film Festival? And it's called into question what the mission of Sundance is. Why are they doing this? And this is not the only movie that's like this. Now, to be fair, Sundance is also playing a lot of other movies that no one else is going to see, that no one will see. A lot of small indie movies, a lot of movies with celebrities, the celebrity factor. And I think what it is I don't blame Sundance as much as I blame lazy journalists who only see the big movies. And that's never been what Film Threat is about. Never. We look for the small movies in need of discovery, in need of attention. So, Alan, my thoughts on Sundance are this, and here's my bottom line. The Sundance Film Festival is not as important as it used to be. Part of it is the erosion of the audience and the brand because of the last 2 years of being online only. Now it's opened up. Anybody can go to Sundance. That's a good thing, by the way. Anybody can get your online tickets so anyone can see movies playing Sundance. It's another revenue stream for them. But I question the quality of the films that they're choosing to play. And a lot of it is, and this is not going to be, of course, this is going to be taken the wrong way, but a lot of movies are of a lesser quality, but they're selected to play the festival simply because of the identity of the people who made the movie. Do you get what I'm saying? So, Alan, I want to hear your thoughts. My thoughts are Sundance is not as important as a festival as it used to be. And it's we will be covering it. We've got, I think, more than 6 people covering it. Right, Alan?
Kind of. We have no, because I kept taking away credentials for not nefarious reasons.
Which is, can I say,
for administrative reasons?
Which is great. Which is great. The one fucking outlet, Film Threat, that will cover anything. You take credentials away from our journalists. Thank you very much, people in the press office.
Yeah.
Who don't even know who the fuck we are. A freaking IKEA chair.
We covered one year, I believe, I want to say 75 to 80% of the movies that showed there.
The one outlet that covers like 80% of the movies playing there, you just give us less and less access. Really smart, Sundance. This is going to get clipped, and I'm going to look.
Yeah, I know.
That's okay. I don't give a shit. I would think that I would just think that and I am the one. By the way, to be clear, Sundance is not to blame for me not having credentials. I chose to not have them.
Mm-hmm.
I made the choice. I said, if we can only get X number of people, I want to give that up to one of our writers who will watch more movies than I will and will write reviews. That's better for the filmmakers, because what am I keeping in mind? The filmmakers. I'm keeping in mind the filmmakers getting coverage, the filmmakers getting reviewed on Film Threat, the filmmakers getting on the Rotten Tomatoes, right, or whatever. Right. They care about stuff like that.
And weirdly, we'll get to review those movies in spite of Sundance, because those publicists are coming directly to us to want to get their movies reviewed.
They come directly to us because they realize the press office at Sundance has no idea who Film Threat is. Well, really what it is it's the gifted and privileged young people who don't know the field. They don't know who anyone is, and they're just looking to get their fucking friends in. And so something like Film Threat, yes, it's a legacy indie film outlet, but who covers these movies like we do? Nobody. Because I guarantee there's a lot of other outlets there that are covering indie film, but they're not covering the small movies. They're not covering the shorts. They're not reviewing short films.
Yeah, they're going to be at the Eccles Theater. They're going to be at the Eccles Theater the entire time
for all the premieres, but they don't get the smaller indie movies, the movies in the Frontier program. I even know. I guarantee
at the library and at the Prospector.
I guarantee most of the journalists going there don't even know what the fucking Frontier program is. I just get a little annoyed because I've been doing this since fucking 1985. So what I say to you is Sundance is not as important as it used to be, because the amazing Maurice is playing there and not the next Kevin Smith or Carly Smith or name a type. I don't give a shit. This movie doesn't need help. It's opening in theaters. Who is pulling favors to get this movie in? Bullshit. Alan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. So I went to the Sundance right before the pandemic, and that was my first time, and I was really excited to look and looking forward to it. And when I got there, what I realized was that Sundance exists because the big studios are there to get their I would say mid to high budget movies out there. They're indies, the ones that aren't going to get the broad appeal. They're gonna have a spotlight. And so Sundance relies on the big studios to go to the Eccles Theater, bring in a large audience, bring in all the celebrities. And then also Sundance relies on the fact that the big outlets are going to be covering that. And then everyone else gets kind of pushed to the side. You know, the upside for any indie filmmaker being at Sundance is you will get exposure more than any other film festival at this time of the year, you know, not including Cannes and Toronto, which is later on in the year. And so when I went there, it was like, you know, where are those indie films? And I did get to see a couple of them. But when today was a big day because we could reserve seats for screenings. And the thing I noticed with the indie films, you know, not the stuff playing at the Eccles, but the indie films are all celebrity driven. Like I just got a new movie being directed by Randall Park. You know, this is, you know, the other movies last year was After Yang. It had Colin Farrell in it. So it seems like that the small indies are getting slowly nudged out by films that have a low budget to them, but now have a name behind it. And that name, of course, will appear at Sundance. So yeah, so like when you brought up the idea of, hey, how about we not go to Sundance? I was like, yeah, let's not go to Sundance. I don't want to freeze my ass off for this. And quite frankly, I am much more looking forward to South by Southwest than I am for Sundance.
Look, we've been covering Sundance since I think we were since 92, 93.
Yeah, every year I've been here, we've covered Sundance, and we've had major presence at Sundance.
But the problem is no one gives a shit who works at Sundance. Now, Eugene Hernandez is a guy who's one of the founders of IndieWire. He used to run the very prestigious New York Film Forum. He is taking over as the director of the Sundance Film Festival next year. I'm very excited to see Eugene take over because Eugene, when he was a kid and lived in Los Angeles, he attended Sundance on behalf of Film Threat back in the day. He got Sundance credentials under Film Thread. He attended, and then like about a year or two later, he created IndieWire. Good for him. He started his own thing, and I ran into him recently. I'm excited to see. I wonder if there's going to be a major change. Now, I do think that some of these tentpole, big celebrity-driven movies, they are important to feature because it helps bring in the media. At the same time, they got to push the smaller indies. I mean, this is where do you think people like Christopher Nolan and James Gunn came from? And by the way, Christopher Nolan's first movie called Following played Slamdance. Slamdance plays those movies.
Yeah.
The kind of movies we're talking about, they're all at Slamdance. And hopefully we'll have the resources to be able to cover some of Slamdance. We'll do our best.
Yeah.
On Slamdance. Slamdance really is like the spirit of what Sundance used to be from the 90s. That's currently at Slamdance, in my opinion.